Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Samantha and today I'm going to be sharing with you the very last two products from my recent Obsession haul. Now of course Obsession has released a brand new range of fantastic products. I've shared with you a number of them and these are the very last. Now they are two face products. You can tell from my makeup that it is very one-dimensional at the moment and needs a little bit of warming up and colour added. So I'm going to be adding these for you today. The first one is a palette called Committed and it looks like this. Very sunset palm tree, very island inspired, and you've got this gold lettering there. So Committed. You've got the logo there as always in white, and then on the back again you've got the white logo, the name of the palette, the ingredients. This time it is cruelty free, just cruelty free. There you can see that there. This one retails for £6. You can pick it up from either revolutionbeauty.com, boots.com, and of course do check with your local Boots store as well. So that's the outer packaging. The inner packaging, again, you've got this sunset palm tree, beautiful, looks very warm and inviting, doesn't it? Kind of view there. Again, you've got that gold embossed lettering there, and of course the white Obsession logo there. So on the back, again, you've got the Obsession logo, the name of the palette, the shades that you're going to receive in here, as well as it being cruelty free. So as always, if you do dispose of the box, all of your information is on the inside palette. Now looking at the actual pan, you've got no mirror in this one, but you do have that beautiful view. And then you have these four shades. So they are in varying degrees of, I suppose they are all highlighters, although that one is possibly going to be too dark and perhaps more of a blush topper for me. But you've got this one here called Bound, which is very icy, not a shade that I will be using just because, as you all know, I prefer, you know, the warmer tones. We've got this beautiful shade here called Dedicate, which is much more me. We have this one here called Wholehearted, which is much more of a marbled mixed kind of highlight. And then of course we've got the last one at the end called Fate, that one there, which is deeper. So you have something, I suppose, for a lot of skin tones in this one, and of course you can mix and match again. So you can remove these and perhaps you know, pop in a blush. You know, you've got your bronzer, perhaps you could pop in here, and perhaps a face palette or a setting powder as well. So you've got the full, I suppose, face products that you need in one palette. So you can certainly do that, and these are magnetized. So when you touch them, they actually move, as you can see there, but they are magnetized. Now what I'm going to do is just swatch these ones for you, and then we'll move on to the next one. So I'll go through all four. So this is Bound, which is that very icy first shade. So we've got Bound there. I'm just going to just blend it in slightly so that you can see that. So there you've got Bound. Then we move on to my favourite shade, which is Dedicate. So that is Dedicate there, absolutely beautiful, definitely my kind of shade. Then we have Wholehearted, which is that mix, that marbled looking pan. When you mix it up, it goes into a beautiful pink highlight. So if you like your pink shade, you're going to love that one. And then the very last one is that shade called Fate, which is the deeper tone. It is absolutely beautiful. Wow, I love that. That is stunning. So you've got a very light icy shade, you've got a warmer pinky peach tone, you've got much more of an icy pink tone there, and you have got a deeper, it's like a rose gold, isn't it, or a bronze gold shade there. Very beautiful, absolutely stunning. So that is the first palette called Committed. Then we move on to this one called Mad About Mauve. And it looks like this. The packaging is just beautiful. I love it. So you've got this very mauve packaging with silver lettering embossed. This time it's in silver, not gold. You've got the white Obsession logo there. On the back you have again the Obsession logo, the name of the palette, the pans that you're going to expect, you have the ingredients, and of course you have got that it is cruelty free. So no vegan on here, just cruelty free as per the other palette. So that's Mad About Mauve, the packaging. And again, I think this one retails for £6. And again, you can pick it up from revolutionbeauty.com, boots.com, or you can pick it up from your local boot store. But of course, do check the stock on the site, as well as perhaps calling to see if they have the stock available, if you don't already have an Obsession stand in your Boots store. So the packaging inside looks like this. So again, very mauve inspired, as the name suggests. You've again got the embossed silver logo there, or the name and the logo there, which is in white. Then again, you've got the Obsession logo, name of the palette, the pans that you're going to, or the shades of the pans, again that it's cruelty free there. So all of your information is on that one palette. And then let's look inside. Again, you don't have a mirror, and then you have these 4 stunning shades. Now I went with this one because it's different to what I already have. I have a number of peach shades, I have a number of pink. So what I wanted to do was try out much more cooler tones. I mean, they are erring on the warm side, the other 3. But this one is quite cool. So I thought, you know, it's nice, it's inexpensive, and that's actually what I like about the brands from Revolution as a whole. They're very inexpensive, so that I can try products that perhaps, you know, I haven't already tried, and it gives me an idea if they work for me. What I also like is, which I find very difficult with expensive products, is that, for example, if I like something, so if I fall in love with this product, I can use it without worry that, you know, I can pick it up again, and that I can afford to pick it up again. So if I purchase a very high-end expensive product, you know, sometimes, you know, some months are more difficult than others, and you might not necessarily be able to afford that product for that month. But that's what I like about Revolution. You can afford to pick it up. It's budget makeup, but it is also quality makeup, and that is what I really like. And the choices that they're giving us, especially in the last couple of years, is just phenomenal. The brand is getting better and better. I'm able to try out a lot of products that I wouldn't necessarily have tried out, especially with higher end brands, and I just absolutely love it. So this is why I thought I'd go for the cooler toned palette. It's only £6. I can try it. If it doesn't work out, you know, I've not broken the bank basically. So let's try these swatches. So again, I'll pop them. I think I might, I'll just carry on, I think. So the first shade is called Fluke, and that is your marbled shade. So that one is Fluke. Let's see what that one looks like when mixed up. So that one is Fluke. In fact, it's a very wearable blush with a little bit of a sheen to it. Really like that. Then we have that really cool toned shade called Flirt. And these feel so soft. Very soft. So that's that very cool tone shade called Flirt. Then we move on to the third shade, which is called Heather. Oops. So this one is Heather. That one there. And then the very last one is called Foxglove. So that one is a Foxglove. Now actually, as with a lot of the other products that I've been testing out from the brand, these look actually a little bit, not a lot different, but they look a little bit different in the pan than they do when you swatch them. And I think I can really get away with applying, you know, quite a few of these to my face. So yeah, I'm really pleased about this, because I think when you look at cool tone products, you think, wow, are they going to work for me? But actually, I don't think they're too bad, are they? Okay, now what I'm going to do is just pop my headband on, because what I'm going to do now is apply the products. What I've applied to my face is I've applied a foundation, concealer, a little bit of that absolutely stunning eyeliner that I love from Revolution Pro. I've applied the mascara, a little bit of eyeliner, lip liner and lipstick. Nothing else to the face. So what I'm going to do is go through my routine that I usually do every single day, but obviously change it up with these products. So I think I'm going to start off with, and it's definitely going to have to be the About Mauve, because Committed is a highlighter palette. So I think what I'm going to do is start off with the shade Foxglove and see how that one works on my skin tone first of all. So I'm using the NYX large fan brush for this. So I'm just going to get a little bit of product on the brush and then start working that. So just trying to warm up the skin tone really, because I look very, very one-dimensional. I think that might be a little bit too deep. Now, because these are cooler, I thought I could actually use each one, you know, as a different product on my face. Rather than just using them as blush, perhaps. They look like beautiful blushes, but they also look like they might be multi-functional products, which I always like, because I like to be able to grab a palette and know that I can actually get, you know, a whole face from that palette, especially if I'm in a rush, you know, or I'm traveling, something like that, and I can just have one palette. That actually blended out very well. Initially, I think I put quite a bit on the actual brush. These are very soft, very soft. I wouldn't say they kick up any powder either. So just like that. Now, if I've gone too far, or, you know, I just want to blend it out, and then get my brush that I've used for my foundation and then just blend it out in the middle, just so it looks a little bit more natural like that. But that's worked really well. So that was the shade Foxglove. I'm going to carry on with Foxglove and then come down each side now, and then just start to warm up the whole of my face. It is looking a little bit pale. Okay, so I'm now going to just start off by warming up the cheek area. I'm going to bronze it up a little bit now. Now, this product really does blend out very, very well. As always, I'm tapping the product into place because I don't want to drag my skin. And this is just what works for me. So love that so far. I think if you have a lighter skin tone, like mine, you can certainly get away with either Foxglove, perhaps Heather, but either one is looking okay. So now this side. Just keep blending away. Takes a little while because I do like everything really blended. It always takes me a while, whatever product, because I just like everything really nicely blended into the skin like that. I think a little bit more. Is it? No. I think what I'll do is I will just blend it a little bit here. That is what I generally do. Just blend it all into place. Okay, that is perfect. So now what I want to do, I want to add a little bit of a depth here. So I'm going to stay with the same brush but go into the shade Flirt, which was this one here. See how that works. If not, I'll go back to a Foxglove. I'm just going to get that. I'll put it a little bit lower than what I wanted. That's better. Again, blending absolutely beautifully. So it's given me that little bit of depth there. And again, I'm just tapping it into place because I don't like to drag at my skin. So again, this side. It looks like there's a much more unblended line in the actual viewfinder than what it looks like in the actual mirror. But that is definitely giving depth there. So I really like the fact that these can be used for, you know, not just blush basically. Okay, so that's that product. Now what I want is a little bit of blush. I think I'm going to go in with Heather. So that means then I've used all three of these powdered shades. So this is Heather here, this peachier tone. See how that works. That is pigmented. Oh dear. We're going to need a little bit of blending there. That is very, very pigmented. Oh, and it's done the same this side. Okay. Yep, a little bit too much. That's not how I like to put on my blush. Let's get the... I feel like I look a bit like one of those dolls that you could buy as a child with a very rosy cheek. So I'm using my foundation brush to definitely tone that down. Oh my word. I do like blush, but I really don't like it like that. I think, and I hardly actually touched the pan. I hardly even tapped it. So I would definitely say that that blush, Heather, is definitely very, very pigmented. Of course, I haven't got much of the makeup on at all. I've kept it very simple today to highlight the cheek and face products. Now that's blended out really, really well. Certainly a lot better to what it looked like before. So if you do make an error, they do blend out. I don't think I've had such a pigmented blush in a long, long while. But you can see how much I've had to take that down. Okay. So that is the Mad About Mauve palette. It's certainly a multi-functional palette, and you can see that I've used it as my bronzer, little bit of contour there, and the blush there. Now, of course, I want to add a little bit of highlight. So we're now moving on to the Committed palette, which looks like this. So we've looked at all of the swatches. Now I'm going to get my favourite highlight brush, which is, as always, the Flex brush. And I'm going to go into what looks like one of my favourite shades, and it is called Dedicate. So I'm definitely going to go into that one and see how this applies. So with that end of the brush, I'm going to start applying that. Wow. You'll see in a moment, but this is extremely pigmented as well. I'm not that keen on that. I thought it was going to be peachy. It's too much for what I want. It's not my kind of highlight. If you like a highlight that really does glow and is very intense, you're going to like this. You can see how intense that is. Unfortunately, I'm not really that keen on this kind of a highlight. It's also not as warm as it looks in the pan. It is quite icy when you put it onto the skin. Now, bearing in mind I've got that beautiful blush on, I expected this to be quite warm and to, you know, just give a nice little glow. Again, I've hardly touched the product and it really has given me a very, very intense glow. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go over the top of that again and see if I can save that, because I just don't like it. That's better. A lot more subtle. I just like it so that it looks like I've got an inner glow, rather than, you know, I'm not that keen on the Seen from Space highlight. It's not really my thing. What I will say about both of these products is that they are very, very soft. They feel very, very nice to the touch. In fact, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take the headband off to start with. So that you can see what it looks like down. Yeah, I mean, I like both of these palettes. I'm not sure if I'm going to be grabbing them. I am very, very fussy about highlights. I mean, I've already mentioned I'm not a big fan of very intense highlights. I prefer a subtle highlight. If you like a really intense highlight, you are going to absolutely love this palette because it really does give a very intense glow. The shades are absolutely gorgeous. Let me just open them up again. The shades are gorgeous. However, I would prefer this shade, and it's not as warm as it first appears. It's very icy, as you can see there, and it's just not as warm as I would like it. So if you like these kind of shades and you like an intense highlight, this is the one for you. And then Mad About Mauve. Again, I like the shades in here. I like the fact that they were different. I wanted to try something. I think they work, you know, all over the face. So I used, which one was it? This one to warm up my face. I then used this to carve out a little bit there, and then I used the middle one, how could we forget it, as the blush there. You saw how intense these products were. They're very soft to the touch. There's a slight bit of kick up from this one here, but nothing major, certainly nothing from these ones here. But yeah, really like them. If you're looking for this kind of a colourway for blushes or face products, then perhaps Mad About Mauve is your thing. What I will say is, as I mentioned before, I am very fussy about blushes, and although I think this looks nice, it's just, I don't know, I don't think that this is my perfect palette. What I would say is it's nothing to do with the formula. I think the formula is amazing. I think it's the colourways. I would have preferred it to be less peachy. You know, when you say Mad About Mauve, you expect it to be a little bit more mauvey toned. So I would have preferred it if they changed these two, or even kept that one, but the blush was a little bit more mauve in colouring. So, you know, a little bit less peach, a little bit less neutral, but a little bit more of that, I don't know, more purpley than this, to give me something a little bit different. I've already got blushes like this, and I tend to go for a little bit of a dusty kind of rose, that kind of colour. In fact, my favourite at the moment is from MAC. I've reverted back to MAC. I did have a little bit of a, I really liked the Morphe Blushing Babes blushes that they released, but I've gone back to MAC now. Blush Baby is my absolute favourite. It's quite similar to this, but it has a little bit of pink to it, I suppose, and that is very wearable for the shades that I like to wear. I'm not a big fan of peach blush, but if you are, then this might be, you know, something that you would like. But I just wish the palette was more what the name suggests, which is a bit mauve. I think the only colour that they've got in here that goes along with the name is that one there, which is Flirt. Other than that, I think the rest are all peach, so it could really be called Mad About Peach palette. But yeah, so a little bit of a disappointment there. I think it's not going to be something that I gravitate to on a daily basis, but I always knew that that was a little bit of a gamble for both of those, just because, you know, I've said it before, I'm looking for certain things from highlight and from blush, and unfortunately those two are just not what I personally like to wear. But if you like an intense highlight, if you like a peachy neutral blush, you're going to love those. So as always, I would absolutely love to hear your thoughts. I would love to hear if you've purchased these products and do you love them. And of course, if you have just stumbled across my channel, I would absolutely love it if you subscribe to watch further videos. Well, I'll leave you just with the swatches of the palettes. So we've got the first four in the highlight palette. So Committed, I think it's called, yeah, Committed. And then the last four are from Mad About Mauve. And you can definitely see that they are nowhere near what I would say is a mauve palette. I would say that they're much more of a peach neutral. So yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. But yeah, I'll leave you with those, and I will be sharing some more amazing makeup with you tomorrow. But thank you so much for watching. Thank you. Bye.